So I really want to talk to you today about what the next 90 days could look like for you. I know that Facebook's been hard right now. I know that e-commerce is very difficult in the summer, and I know that there's been a lot of people that you've tried to necessarily take advice from, or maybe that you've tried to hire to fix things. If you're watching this at this point, you know that you're all in. You're going to succeed. It's just a matter of how do you get there. And so what I'm trying to talk to you today about is how I've been able to help people do that in the past and how I can help you make that happen for yourself. Seeing more time in your day, more money in your pocket, more success in your business, and ultimately reducing the stress that you see on a regular basis. What I'd like to do is really tell you today about my Facebook Ads MBA program. Now, sorry, I'm just hitting this thing here. Boop, 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 pin comment, cool. So one of the biggest things about this is a immersive program. This isn't like some online course or some like ebook that you might buy and reject, or some like, group class where it's like $150 and you and 1,000 other people get to share and watch like some pre-recorded, PowerPoint presentation from somebody that doesn't really even give a shit about you. No, this is a immersive, small program. It's 9 weeks long. And in that weeks, we cover all the documentation, process, as well as structure and understanding that you're going to need to see a lot of success. Not only is this the type of thing where you get to learn a lot, but it also comes with one-on-one time with me every week. Literally, you and me sitting down and walking through your path to success. Something that generally costs thousands of dollars a month. So we get the one-on-one time. We also get group classes. So you can join a group of other people to walk through every week's discipline. We go through this together in an incremental way that really builds on top of each additional step. From how the system actually works and optimization and simplification to how to do measurement, like getting the Scrum doc together and understanding the impact of all your account structure and how to manage things. We also get to testing, both creative testing as well as strategic and tactical elements. Not only how to test, but how to document your tests, how to use the information that you've gained from those tests to see massive success, how to repeat wins and avoid making the same losses over and over again. Outside of that, we also get into absolutely essential documentation that you need to really win. Stuff that I've been doing, whether the business was spending $100 a day or $1 million a day, which I personally have managed up to and over $1 million a day ad accounts. So it's not only how the system works, which, believe me, I understand because I'm friends with the engineers and I've been working with them for nearly a decade now. I got into Facebook ads before the pixel actually existed. Hi, I'll message you. And this is before the pixel actually even existed. Back in the day, you had to actually manually code every single event. If you wanted to add to cart or initiate checkout, and fun thing, there weren't anything called conversion campaigns. They didn't exist. The optimized CPM environment that Facebook is built on, the algorithm, didn't exist. So I was spending $1 million a day before that even existed. And after doing dozens and dozens of case studies and spending tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, over the years, I've gotten really close to the people that develop it. And the lessons that I've learned spending money for the likes of Nissan, and Levi's, and Activision, as well as small local companies, mom and pop shops, SaaS companies, subscription brands, affiliate brands, direct-to-consumer and e-commerce, over 100 million in revenue. The lessons that I've taught them at scale, I'm now bringing down to the individual advertiser. The real big difference is right now, it has never been easier or more available for anyone to truly reach success on the back of Facebook ads and a good business model while understanding the business development to truly understand the way to move forward. We have never lived in a time where it's easier for anybody, anywhere in the world, to achieve that level of success. The problem is there's not a lot of people that are out there teaching it. Now, there are a fair amount of people out there to show you how they did something and, give you a cut and paste version of one thing that they have out of context to show you how they made $1 million or something. The problem is the same setup doesn't work for multiple people. You can copy and paste somebody else's results and their setup with their exact same architecture and their exact same style business, and you're going to see different results. And there's a big reason for a lot of that. The majority of it comes to how do you program the machine to do what you want it to do. Also, how do you really prioritize using big data to your advantage? Facebook is this massive unfair advantage to the marketplace in that they basically can collect information from millions of websites and billions of users. Now, clearly, you might not be targeting billions of users with your advertising, but Facebook understands from that what people are in the market for, what people want to see, what do they engage with positively. And based around that, we're going to design your ad account to take advantage of what Facebook calls estimated action rate, while also working on your business model, while also working on transparency and accountability and architecture for your documentation as well as your account setup. All of these things are fundamental, and it's far more important than, well, we're going to use a cost cap today, or what's the best lookalike audience, or what's the interest group we should be using. All of those conversations are ones that are made popular by people that see out of context results that don't last a long time, and that ultimately are having to chase down the next big thing. And I'll give you a couple points of advice here and some context. I've been running some ads for years now. Ad fatigue is bullshit. I've been using the same audiences for months or years because winning in a specific way that lasts a long time means that you don't ever have to change. The more change you introduce, the less stable the platform is, and the more likely you are to see difficulty in overall success. Now, the last thing that I'm going to mention here is that this is 100% possible for your business, whether you are direct to consumer, e-commerce, lead gen, SaaS, whether you're doing subscription business or a service industry job. This is 100% doable. And that's one of the reasons this is a 9-week-long program, is because this isn't something you're going to learn in an hour and a half. This isn't a, let me show you one thing that I did without telling you the rest of the back end so that you can pay me a little bit of money and I can get 100 people involved and I can make 10 grand in a day and not help anyone. This is me holding your hand from frustration to confidence. This is me holding your hand from knowing that this is what you want to do to getting so much more time back and so much more money into your pocket that you're now chasing down other things to get good at. You know, some of the students that have been through the program, one guy, for instance, that comes to mind, his name is Daniel. We got him down from 6 to 7 hours of Facebook a day to roughly 2 hours a week. Halfway through the program, he doubled his revenue while also getting back 90% of his time. And he used that time to really get good at other principles, other marketing efforts. And as a result, he's still working about 1/3 of the time he was before. But his business is far less reliant on Facebook for success. Facebook is far easier than it used to be. His spend has now gone to thousands a day. And he's making more money than he ever did. That was by like week 5. And that is massive and life-changing. And really, when I'm talking about how the next 90 days can change your life, this is what we're getting into. We are entering into probably the easiest time to win all year long. Now, it's not just about winning easy today. It's about how do we set ourselves up so that not only do we win easy today, but we ultimately maximize the success of the future. And the folks that set themselves up to win today, not just winning when it was easy, but setting themselves up for long-term success, those people are going to see more revenue than they ever have. They're going to make, Facebook will be easier and easier than it's ever been. they're going to be making completely different types of decisions 100 days from now, 200 days from now, because they're no longer going to be spending their time micromanaging the shit out of a platform that can be completely automated. I want you to have higher quality problems like fulfillment and hiring and trying to see what's the next big thing for you because Facebook became easy. And that's the biggest win, is how do we make this thing that can be fundamental to the growth of your business and one of the biggest sources of confidence and success be something that's also the easiest part of your day. And not just your day, but your week and your month and your year. How do we get it down to something that requires a couple hours a week max, while also putting more and more money in your pocket? That's a lot of what this program is built around. So again, we're getting to optimization, we're getting to reporting, we're getting to how the system actually works, how the platform actually functions. And this isn't just in, some pre-recorded video lesson that you're going to watch. This isn't just in some ebook you're going to throw away. This is one-on-one with me for 9 weeks, plus group classes in a community that you can be a part of forever. You can join all the alumni, and you can also come back in 2 years if you want to invest in making sure that Facebook is successful for you, not just today, but what happens when iOS 17 comes out. Are you ready for it? The answer is I'm gonna be. I already know the plans I have for iOS 15, and I know what we can expect to see over the next few years as Facebook moves further and further away from big data and more into that customer experience. We've already been doing the case studies at the rate of millions of dollars a year for years now. As part of the Disruptor group, which is where Facebook Disruptor and CT Disruptor comes from, I literally wrote the book on how to do creative testing with CBO. And if you want to know how to do creative testing, I can tell you. I'm the person that literally taught Facebook how to teach agencies how to make it work. The downside is most of those people that were taught didn't implement it or didn't listen or had something else inside for other reasons that they didn't want to take on. And I get it. If things are working for you, why change? I understand that. But I'll tell you why you change. Because you can be winning, but that doesn't mean that you can't win more by doing it differently. And one of the biggest things that we get to here is how do we use the scientific method to our favor? Instead of using brute force, how do we let the machine do the work? Instead of taking really educated guesses in a fashion where it's basically win or lose, how do we actually make every test incremental to the last one? So that what success looks like 90 days from now is fundamentally different than success today. How do we understand the difference between just trying to stabilize the account and dealing with what happens when we 5x the spend? These are all very different questions. And part of being in the program is not only do you get me with you every week, not only are you part of those group classes, but that community is something you can stick with forever. So you're going to be able to see all of the other students that have gone through it. You're going to be able to reach out to an elite group of people who have been extraordinarily well trained. The problem is 80% of the people that run Facebook ads were overworked and poorly trained by somebody that didn't really know what they were doing. And I know this because I've been in the game for nearly a decade now. I know the people that ignored the advice that we gave them 5 years ago, that then started their own agencies because they landed one really great client and were able to land other business. And then hired other people to help them. And then poorly trained those other people while overworking them and underpaying them, to be completely honest. If you do this right, the rest of your life can change. There's a big movement around, like, can you get to 10K months and all of these other things? How do you make 10,000 in a day or all this other stuff? My point to you is, let's get you to the point where you're no longer concerned about good days and bad days. Let's get you to the point where independence and confidence and happiness is what you're measuring your decisions against. Not just, can I pay the bills, but how many people can I help pay theirs? How do we set you up to reach your overall objectives? How do we utilize the greatest tool in the history of humanity at creating intent, built on the back of hundreds of the world's smartest engineers? How do we let that do all of our work so that we can go enjoy life. So as much as this is about optimization, and as much as this is about how Facebook works, and as much as this is about how to test and do all of these other things, it's also, how do you set up your business? How do you set up your life? And ultimately, how do you set yourself up for overall success, whatever that means to you? Because honestly, what it means to you might be very different than what it means to me. And what this program does differently than almost every other program is this is not a cut and paste system. This is not this is the way it works, do it this way and you're going to win. Because the honest truth is, everybody that says that is full of shit. This is what does success mean to you? What is your situation? What can you do well? What are you not good at? How do we leverage the things that you're good at and let the system take care of everything else? How do we make that setup so that you can do that in a long-winded way that doesn't just last for a month, but can last for years? How do we make it so that the biggest assets to your growth are things that are no longer a liability to your peace of mind? In addition to the one-on-one classes, one-on-one sessions, and the group classes, there is an online course that you can go through that is also being updated on a regular basis. When the system changes, the course changes. This is an MBA program. This is not a pre-recorded course that I'm throwing away. This is a school, and you can come back and audit any of the classes at any time for free as soon as you're done. You can also go back and rewatch any of the lessons from any of the weeks at any time, because the group classes we have are recorded. So they're not only recorded and available to you in the moment, but you can see them 6 months from now, 2 years from now. Maybe you can go back and you're having a problem. You might find it in a solution from a class that you missed because it happened 3 months before you joined. The point is, this is an evergreen ecosystem that you can buy your way into. There is no long-going price for it. Once you're in, you're in. There's no subscription piece. There's no me coming back to you trying to upsell you on other things. Once you get through the course, once you get through the program, you are in the group forever. Some of the biggest folks in the group so far, we have an ad agency owner from Germany that has actually been able to hire other members from Facebook Disruptor School to work for him. So he came on as an advertiser and ended up getting so good at it that he had free time. So he went out and got other good business, and he was able to hire other students to work for him. Those other students, really, really good at their job. Why? Because they also went through the training. Other students of mine, one is a drop shipper from Texas, was able to turn 10 different drop shipping products that he was struggling at with his team into a vertically integrated brand that brings him monthly recurring revenue that pays all of his overhead and his salary. Literally just him being awake and running the business puts enough money in his pocket so that he can lose money every day on Facebook and his business still gets bigger and bigger. Because it's not about the first product. It's about the business model and the customer journey of everybody you're getting in. That's a win that no course that you're going to take to try to set up the perfect ad account is going to teach you. And because we've been able to simplify his ad account to the point where it's purely scientific testing with evergreen efforts, control and test elements, implementing effectively 5th grade science class, he can manage his Facebook in a couple hours a week. A week. And generate enough money to manage an entire team, as well as pay himself before he makes sales that day. That is massive freedom. And it's somebody that you can talk to on a regular basis. If you join the group, you're going to be able to see these other folks and be able to talk to them, be able to engage with them, be able to ask questions of other members of the program. There's another person in the program. She's from Canada. She came through, overworked at her day job, had been in the business, knew that she was good at this, but had never been able to fully invest. What she did is she treated this like college, because that's what it is. This is an ongoing training at a master's level class. Now, for the record, I have an MBA. I also have a BA and an associate's. I've got multiple college degrees. But that's not what this is about. My point is, before she's finished the program, she was able to acquire customers. Because you know what? I get a lot of people asking me, hey, can I pay you to do things? My answer is no. But I got a lot of good students that I think can work for you. So I was able to give her clients. And what happens is those people that trust me, that want me to work for them, I've steered them into the direction of somebody that's really good, but needs the money. So they're getting a couple, so the person that's coming to me that might otherwise need to pay an agency like $10,000 a month or something like that and get ripped off, I'm able to give them an employee for a lot cheaper than that, while also coaching that employee through all the problems that they have, because they can come back into the group classes and ask the questions. They can come back into the lessons and see the updates. That's an available choice. And when it's all done, if you still want some one-on-ones, if you still want to have a closer touch, there are options for that. And yeah, I have one person that went through the program and they're going to go through it again. Not because they didn't get enough out of it, but because going through the program is actually cheaper than hiring me to do consulting for him when he goes through the second time. So he's getting my time every single week to walk him through all the clients that he got from working in the program. And now he's basically running his own agency, something that was completely off the board. And a student from Canada, she's right on that track too. She has had almost half a dozen meetings with folks. And within the next 100 days, we'll have enough profit off of the work that she's done, on top of what she had to pay herself to do the work, to pay off the program. So she's basically profited on this. And she's been involved in this thing for less than 6 months. So that's what the MBA program is all about. Now I'm doing this live today because I want you guys to know that it exists. And I want you to know, maybe you're really good at email. Maybe you're really good at Google. Maybe you're really good at running a business. Maybe you are fed up with your day-to-day job and you are ready to make a change and do something where you are going to see benefit for the rest of your life. Whatever that investment is, whatever puts you in this place where you're watching this today. I'm doing this to let you know that it exists. The next program starts September 1st. The first group of people that message me and want to get in are going to get discounted rates. I would rather fill up this class and help people out and make sure that it is packed than worry about getting the max amount of money from every individual person. It will cap out at 12 total students. The first 3 people that join are going to save. You can message me about it, but we'll just say this. You're going to save hundreds of dollars a week. Multiple hundreds every week for joining the program by jumping in early. In addition to that, if you need it, there's also payment options where you can secure your seat and then basically make flat payments to the rest of the program to make sure that you're good to go. My focus out of all of this is for you to be successful. It is way better for me to have a really great relationship with some of the most elite people, whether I train them or not. Because this is a business of relationships. Some of the best clients that I have are people that I didn't even work for years. For instance, right now, I'm managing a business. I'm managing the online marketing for a business that did $200,000 in the first week of August in profit. That person, it took us 3 years to find the right way to work together. But because we both invested in that relationship, we found the right time to make things work. What I'm telling you is, if you want to maximize this year, 2021, if you are struggling through the summer, if you want to make all of that money you lost back and set yourself up for 2022 to be the best year for your business ever, so that you can have the most amount of independence and confidence and happiness in your life, that right time is now. So I'm not trying to be a hard salesperson. I want you to find the right fit. I don't want to take advantage of the situation, but I am letting you know that, again, this will be limited to 12 total students. The first few that join are going to get a massively discounted rate. And I'm interviewing every single person to make sure that it's a right fit for them. Nobody's signing up without interviewing with me first. And This is not just to see, like, can I take your money? This is to me to make sure that this is right for your business. This is the right fit for you personally. And that you're going to be the best fit possible. Because I want this for you. I want this to be the best fit. And I will take every application that I can work through. This is what I do for a living. This is what I do with my time and my day. Outside of helping people that are already working with me, it's find new people to lift up. At the end of the day, I'll leave you with this. If you want the next 90 days to be what fundamentally changes your life, and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired and frustrated, if you want more time and more money, if you want more success and confidence and happiness in your life, and you want to reduce stress and ultimately build something that you can rely on for years, this is a 100% proven thing. That I've worked with businesses that spend $100 a day to businesses that spend $100 million a year. I've been in the game nearly a decade. Facebook says I'm one of the top 100 people in the United States at this. And I'll give you a hint. A lot of those other people are students of mine with Fortune 500 businesses and direct-to-consumer brands that you know. And I'll tell you a lot of the stories around them and give you a lot of that insight. And if that's something that you want, DM me and we can get started. It takes a leap of faith to leap into the unknown, take life by the horns, and truly become the person in charge of your destiny. The bottom line is very, very, very few people get there by doing somebody else's job for a portion of somebody's job, for a portion of their money. If you want to be one of these people that is doing the massive numbers, that is able to travel and to provide and able to change your life, that's what happened for me. I've made it happen for a lot of other people, and I want to do it for you. So if that sounds appealing to you, DM me that you're ready to go, and we'll get started. We'll set up an interview. You can tell me about where you're at. I can answer your questions, and we can figure out how to make this work for you so that the next 90 days will be the first 90 days of the rest of your life. All right. Well, with that, I'm out here in Massachusetts visiting with family because I can go wherever I want. I can go do the things that I want to do. And that is a luxury that this has given me. I used to be tied to a desk 9 to 5. Now I can travel the world as long as there's an internet connection and change people's lives. So thank you for giving me that opportunity and for helping me seize the moment for myself. With that, I'll let you go. Best of luck to you. I really hope to see you inside the DMs. Thank you again so much. And see you on the internet. Bye.